This
Oh,
conference will now be recorded.
I was just gonna say it's the nth child, and then the one with the parentheses.
Can you show me that same?
Oh, I just have it from the 30 CSS. One sec,
I mean,
it's
did
not
you?
loading. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm asking, like, you were just referring that 30 selectors website link, or you practice the same thing in your code as well?
I just referenced the
Hmm.
30.
Okay, but that doesn't work, right? So if you're seeing something like, how like the child or whatever the property, as long as you are seeing, and if you believe that if you are getting that, then yeah, it is not a right way, right? So you should practice it. That's the reason I told you clearly that you should add a two paragraph p elements in the code, and don't essay and don't add any class to that, and don't write any inline style. Okay, you should practice it, right? It is something like mathematics, right? So you should do it. If you simply see that what is there, then that doesn't mean that you will get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should practice it. Then only you will get that all the selectors and how to write the class and all. So far in whatever the sessions that we had so far, so just check yourself, like whether you are able to write the code in your own way or not. So far, whatever the layout that we are taking as a reference, right? Most of the time you are just seeing this recorded session, or maybe during the session itself you are making a note of that CSS properties and classes. The same thing only you are applying. You are not actually writing any new things as well. The same layout also you are also making from your side, right? Yeah, so I mean, but just check yourself, okay? So whether the way you are practicing and all is in a right way or not, because end of the day, you should feel comfortable that the confidence you should get that okay, I can also write the CSS properties and values and HTML elements in your own way, not it's not something copying from other website resource.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Let me share my screen. Okay, so is my screen is visible?
Yeah.
Okay, let me open this. Okay, so I think we were talking about this test and test two, right? Yeah, so there are two paragraph elements here, and what I told you clearly that we should not we should not apply any class for it. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing is we are not supposed to write any inline style sheet also for this. Okay, so we can handle this paragraph like welcome area. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now you can check what is the parent element of this P. What is the parent element is obviously welcome area only. Okay, so now let us say if I target that welcome area where we have written line number 77. So line number 77. So let us say welcome area space P, right? This we already discussed. Okay, so we are going to target paragraph which is in welcome area class, right? So now if I apply some color to it, color red. So now what, I'm not going to refresh anything. Now you can tell me like how this text will be appear.
It will
I mean,
turn.
what is the output?
It will turn red, like back.
So only this paragraph or both paragraph, both P elements?
Both.
Okay, both will be red. So the same point I told you the other day itself, I don't want the same color. So I want a different color. And the rule
Mm-hmm.
is we are not supposed to write inline styles and we are not supposed to write classes. So now
Yeah.
we now find in one way to at least to catch the paragraph element, right? Because of
Mm-hmm.
that, we focused on parent and child relation here. Okay, parent is the welcome area and P is the child. Okay, now if you see this, in this way we can handle we cannot handle a single element if you only focus on like this parent and child element relation because we have a different we have a more same kind of child elements. We have another p also here, so obviously it is going to be applicable, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
parent and child scenario won't be work based on the requirement which I gave. Okay, so my requirement is very simple. I kept the two paragraphs here, and I needed two paragraphs should be in a different colors, and I don't want to write any class and inline styles. Okay, but if I have only one paragraph, this parent and child relation will be worked out, and we can write something like this. Okay, so what is the next way? So the parent and child, requirement and what is the relation is not 100% fulfilling, our requirement. Okay, so the first option is parent and child. That is, we are not actually getting, enough result here. So next, we need to check that what is the sibling, right? What is the sibling?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you look at the, let us say example of this text. Not I'm not talking about the text too. I'm talking. Now I want to change some different color to this text. So now what I'm trying to do here is I'm just checking the what is the sibling. Before sibling is order now. After sibling is one more paragraph and there is no class for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just it's another element. I mean, it's another paragraph only. So after this paragraph, definitely I cannot do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But before what is there? Order now. Immediate order now, I have a paragraph, right? So in such a scenario, what I can do in a simple way, same way, welcome area. So no, not welcome area. What is that? Order now. Where is the order now here? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is dot order now plus p.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when I'm writing plus p and I'm going to apply some color as blue. Now let us see. See, now I can see blue color here. And if you just look at this paragraph, what selector it is showing here, it is a plus selected here,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for other paragraph, other p element, anyhow that we have a child and parent relation. Okay, so without this also still we can handle this one. To
Yeah.
apply a
But
red color,
why is it not
sorry.
going to the other P when it's plus? Like, how does it know to do the first one?
Yeah, no, that is what actually. Now, when you put a plus p, it immediately target the first element only. It is immediately
Okay.
target. The behavior is like that. It is immediately target the first p only. Now, okay, what
Okay.
I'll do is I'm going to remove this. Hey, just give me 1 second. Huh?
Mm.
Hey, Mac. Okay, so what we are discussing here is so the whenever you add a place, okay, it will target only first P element. Okay, now what I'm going to do is how we are seeing that the red color here is the parent-child relation, right? So now I'm going to
Yeah.
remove that, or I'm going to comment this. Now let us reload this page. Now you can see it applicable only for first P only, not for the second P, right?
Mm-hmm.
When there is no plus between this, it is going to be handle all paragraph elements. When it is a plus, okay, when it is a plus, which is okay. So I mean, here is the thing. Okay, I mean, I'm sorry. Here is a wrong statement that I have given. When there is no space, right? It will first find the paragraphs within the order now. So within the order now is this. But now we have a P is outside of the paragraph. I mean, outside of the order now. So which is called like a sibling. There is no parent child, right? So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
apply parent and child, you should take the actual parent. What is the actual parent is welcome area, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So now we are targeting this paragraph based on the order now only, not the welcome area, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
this is the next sibling. So next order, what is the next sibling of order now? What is the next element of order now is a paragraph,
Yeah.
right? So in such a scenario, we are going to handle like this. Let's assume if there is no space between this, okay, how it is going to work? So it will find where the P is within the order node, but unfortunately we do not have anything, right? So it won't work. You're getting my point?
So could
Just
you add a
just me
div?
let me read. Hmm? What?
Could you add a div?
Here instead of
Yeah.
P? Yeah, sure.
No, like
Let me add.
around P.
Okay, around P. Okay.
Would that work?
Like
Yeah. Or
no. This doesn't work. Why? Because see the structure of the code. Okay. See, it is not giving any report, right? See, what we are doing is order now. What we have added. Where is the order now? We are only targeting. We are only targeting paragraph P element, which is there after order now. See, if you see the code, order now, we have this P, right? But still
mm-hmm.
it is not working. Why? In between we have a one more div. So that's what I'm saying. This paragraph is that immediate. It should be immediate after this order now only. If you have a paragraph, then only it will work. Otherwise, it won't work.
Okay.
If you check that, even though for order now, this P also sibling only, right? The relation between this order now and paragraph also sibling only, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still it is not working because it is not an immediate sibling. Now div is the immediate sibling. Now you can tell me. Now this is something like like an interesting thing. Now you can tell me we need to apply the blue color of this P. I don't want to apply any class or inline styles to both this P at the same time div, but still I want to apply.
Yeah.
It's very easy thing.
Wait, you want to
All
apply
you
to
have to do is yes, all you have to do is just to focus on that. You only have to tell me that if I want to apply blue color, how I should write.
um like with the div or without?
No, with the div only. Without div, we already tested. No,
Yeah,
then what?
with div,
Why?
you just
Yeah,
give class. Okay.
with sorry, come again.
You could do it with class, right? And
No,
then
that is
div.
what I'm saying. No, I mean you're
No.
not supposed to write class or inline styles for div at the same time paragraph. You're not supposed to
Mm-hmm.
write. Yeah. See,
You can
this is how
do
that requirements usually will come, and maybe in interview maybe people can ask you in a different way like I have this and you are not supposed to write. Then what is the ways to write? What is the way to write CSS properties to elevate the paragraph P element?
Hmm. Could you do nth child?
No,
Mm,
I think you took a reference of only nth child. That is what you are saying, nth child, nth child.
I just
So
I did.
nth child scenario is completely different because you should have all the same elements. Okay, there
Mhm.
must be one parent element. In the parent element, if you have all the paragraphs, in such a case, you can handle it. But in this scenario, this is the only structure I have. This is the only structure I have. Now I want to elevate the P here. Just think about it. I mean, this
Mm,
is where this is how the actual problems and actual things will come. So that is the reason that I'm telling very clearly that as long as you practice in your own way, so that you will play with that once you get a confidence.
mm.
Yeah, if you just see like the statement like in the child or adjacent selector, combinator selector, you assume that okay, you understand the concepts. But this is
Yeah.
the one scenario that I'm giving. Let assume that I'm an interviewer. Okay, I'm giving this task to you to I'm expecting some answer from you, right? So in such a case,
Mhm.
like how are you gonna handle that? So it's a very simple thing. Again, that's why I'm telling that it's a very simple thing. The only thing is you just have to focus on it. That's it, nothing else. But I'm so sorry, I'm not going to tell anything. You just have to think it. Just
Mm.
look at that code structure. As long as you at least if you come no, more than 50%, I can help you because
Would
that
you
that
just
topic we already covered.
would you do like welcome area first and then div and then like
Okay.
space div space p?
Welcome area div space div. But we have already divs here. For
Oh,
example,
oh,
let us say if paragraphs, okay, right now we have a paragraph in this div, okay. Let's
mhm.
assume if the paragraph element is there in this order now also. So it definitely affect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that is not a right approach, right? That's the
Yeah.
reason I'm very clearly telling that we just need to only handle this P. So it should not impact any of the P elements.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, good thing that you are thinking that you can write in a welcome area space div space P.
Mm.
But the use case which I gave you just now, it won't work. No, the parent and child relation, you understand that it won't work. Now let's look at the sibling relation.
Mm. It's div is the answer to like select the div?
This one, okay.
Yeah. Like, do we go from the div and then like say it's this one and then mm,
Okay, I mean I'm not actually getting what you were trying to say, but I mean you understand the requirement, right? So take your
yeah.
time and think. So first thing that it definitely won't work if you focus on like a welcome area div and welcome area space div space P won't work because if P is not if P element is a part of any of the div element, it will be effect to other P elements also. But I don't want that. I want
Mm,
only this P should be affected.
mm. It's one of the selectors, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's what I know. That is that is the reason, right? Otherwise,
yeah.
otherwise, what is the point to more focus on selectors?
I remember
Because
there
I
was a
mean the understanding point is the C selectors is not just in the CSS. Okay, it is not something
mm,
we are highlighting paragraph and all. When you work in with JavaScript, jQuery, Angular, any of the front end frameworks and all, right? See, this is the
mm.
only job because and this is the DOM.
Oh,
Okay,
do you
DOM in
do
the sense
only child?
document
Like
object.
the only child
Hmm?
selector? Would you use the only child selector?
So how it is going to work? Just you can send me that in chat window. You can send me the property. like how it is going,
Okay.
how we really it is going to work.
Um,
So only child to wait to how to no write only child. I mean, which element I need to write?
it would be like div p only child. Let me think. I'm not sure if this would affect. No, I'm guessing this is wrong, but I want to see.
Div P only child. Okay, but no, as long as you write in a generic way, the same way will work for all the divs where P is the only child, right?
Yeah. So what could
Then
you?
that is what I'm saying. No, so I don't want any paragraph going to affect with the generic statement.
Mm, could you do last child?
I mean,
Like
how can we apply the last child?
make div the last child and then focus on p.
Again, same, right? So if I write a
Yeah.
last child in a generic way, it will affect to that wherever that given paragraph combination is there, it will work, it will affect.
Mm, mm, I'm not sure. Mm,
It's a simple, very simple thing. Because we covered, otherwise I won't ask.
mm, let me go to my notes.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you. Okay,
Mm,
because I don't want to waste most of the time. Okay,
mhm,
so we tried that the parent one and only child or the child. We understand that nothing is going to work. So I just I mean I gave already a clue here. Look at that siblings. So what we need to focus on this first of all this paragraph, right? And
mhm.
have you seen any siblings here for
No,
this paragraph? No.
no.
So we do not have the window is closed for us. Now check that parent and child relation. Parent we have, right? Div.
Mhm,
So what is the parent element of this div is welcome area. If I write a welcome area space div space p, definitely it will be affect wherever that p is there inside the div. That is a
mhm.
generic way. Now can we check that what is the sibling of this div?
It will be the div above.
What is that?
Um,
What we have a class, right?
oh, order now.
Yes, we have a class, right? So based on this order now we can touch this div, right? At least the first step,
Mhm, mm.
right? Now in order now, okay. So if you make that order now plus div, what it is exactly going to do? It is going to target this div only, right? So not this div, right?
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So div space p because within div only we have only one paragraph now.
Mm,
You understand?
mm.
That is the reason I'm telling you to practice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we targeted this. Once you get this, the structure.
Mm,
So it is going to affect only immediate div of this order now. Even though if you have a one more div after this div also, it won't work.
mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the reason, and I'm just focus and see there is no much complexity here, right?
Yeah.
You tell me frankly, right? So it's all about
Yeah.
your thinking. So how, once you start practicing, then only you can think. That's what I'm trying to
Mm,
say. Hmm.
yeah. I was looking at all the other selectors. That's what I did before.
I mean, see, that is the point, right? See, you do not have that much of enough time, when you are maybe when you are working, you may have a lot of time, you can Google it. But when you are really giving an interview, do you think that they allow you to find something in the Google? Or do you
No.
think they will give enough more time to you? No, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the way of thinking is like this only because all the content is going to be generated. Okay, that's the reason I told you yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, day before yesterday. So you need to work on something which is not in your control. So this is the reason that I gave you an example. So if you build this D1 paragraph, definitely you will you mean I mean the point is if you write this D1 paragraph, right, you will not live like this. Definitely you're going to apply some class for it, right? That is
Hmm.
absolutely in your control. What if some content is generated using with the JavaScript or jQuery or any of the content? Definitely this kind of situations will come.
Mm.
So what the confidence thing that you should get it, whatever the element, try to understand the statement. Whatever the element that you are selecting here, even though it doesn't have any class, okay, the siblings has a class, but for this specific element doesn't have any class. And when this content is generated, definitely you cannot apply a class to it and you cannot apply inline style also. You cannot do because that's what I'm saying. So, why I'm saying that you cannot, this is something generated.
Yeah.
Okay, there will be some situations for sure. Okay, you may see different content when you are when you are checking in the inspect element mode. You can see some different content, but when you open your code, you won't see this content because this content is not written by you and you are using some. Okay, I mean to say you are using some JavaScript or jQuery, any of the scripting related stuff into your web page. So automatically content going to be added. You can't
Mm.
see that content in your HTML page at the same time when you are trying to see open view web page source as you here also you won't get that dynamic content. The dynamic content only you can see only in the inspect element.
Mm.
Okay. So now see if you see that an order now we have, right? We
Yeah.
have an order now. Now we have what is there IMG, search content and this div, right? Now what I'm going
Hmm.
to see, what I'm going to do using with the JavaScript. Now see what I'm going to do is document dot create element paragraph
Hmm.
and okay we have one paragraph. Okay, in like instead of this what I will do is uh, let pr equal to p and let order is equal to document dot query selector dot, don't worry about this, but it is something like not this. Why this is not copying? Why order now? Okay, I don't know why it is not actually copying order now. So now order dot, I don't remember that append child or something. Let us see. Oh yeah. So now see
Mm.
in order now. Okay, I hope that you are following this now. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm putting all my efforts to explain in a real time experiences. Okay,
Hmm.
I hope you're following. Okay, so now if you see this order now class and come to HTML, we have order now here, right? It started in
Mm-hmm.
line number 49 and it started line number 55. Have you seen
Yeah.
paragraph element here by any chance?
No.
But see, order now after image after div you have a paragraph here. How did this
Mm.
paragraph added here? This is something I have added using with the JavaScript,
Mm.
right? In the same way only you will get elements along with the content also.
Oh. Mm. What? Why?
I mean, okay, why in the sense that's what I'm saying. If you work JavaScript, so far we did not start it yet, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
work with JavaScript or if you work with jQuery, any of these technologies, you may see some animations and all. In such a
Mm.
case, so the code, whatever is required, the HTML code, they're not going to write straight away in the HTML. They will push the entire HTML code from the script itself. As long as the script runs in the browser, the code is going to be added into the HTML page. Okay.
Mm.
And if you look at your HTML code, you won't see that because that is generated. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean this is the reason that I'm telling continuously that generated one,
Mm-hmm. So
right?
does it
So this is
every?
called dynamic content. Okay,
Okay.
not a static content. Static content in the sense, if you see this order now, you can change order now to something else because that is the static content. It is there in your code, HTML code, and the same way you are seeing that in inspect element mode as well.
Mm.
But when you see this pair P element, which is generated and dynamically created, which is not a part of your HTML code, and as well as if you look at that view source, view page source also, you won't get that. If you see that order now we have, there is no paragraph element.
Yeah.
So the only option you have is the paragraph is here only,
Okay.
right?
Mm.
Yeah. So I mean that is what I'm saying, no? So when you have this content and all, right? Like I just gave you a small demo, like on how P is going to add it. In the same way, this entire div elements, lot of elements going to come and add. But the point is definitely when the dynamic content is generated for all of them, we definitely 99% we are going to have a classes for sure. But the point is what if they doesn't have any classes? If the element comes like this without a class, if the element is coming with a class, okay, it is fine because the same class, whatever it is there, right? The same class you can write here and you can override the properties. But what an if element comes without a class and only content, then that is the again a scenario. Now, if you see this, how we gonna handle this paragraph here? We have a order now, right? At
Mm-hmm.
this moment, we have only one paragraph, so you can simply write order now if space p. So it is going to target this. Or if
Mm-hmm.
you worry there are other paragraphs, simply you have a what do you call that sibling here. Search content is there immediately. You have a paragraph. Search content space plus p, right?
Yeah.
So this is the main advantage of the selectors. So selectors is not something only always not like just a class element selector or ID selector.
Mm-hmm.
This is the actual use of selectors.
Okay. Yeah. I
Now
get it.
I hope you understand.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Hmm. Let me 30 CSS selectors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we tried it x plus y. Yeah, this is something interesting. So you can check this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One sec. Somebody is pinging me. Please review and message this PR. Sorry, my time is done. I'm done with it. Okay. Okay. So if you see this, okay, if there is no symbol in between,
Mm-hmm.
if there is no symbol in between, if you have a space, so how you gonna understand? So you are going to target UL, which is there in div
Yeah.
id container. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
simple div. If you see this,
Yeah.
there is a hash. Okay, there is a hash. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so how it is going to write in HTML? Div id equal to container. Okay,
Mm.
so if there is no UL, sorry, there is no no this greater than in between this. We all know that we are going to target UL where ID container is assigned to only div. So this is fine. But what if
Mm.
we have this greater than? So now what they are trying to say here is the difference between the standard x space y and x greater than y is that the latter will only select direct children. For example, considering the following markup. Okay, what they are trying to say here is, yeah. Now, if you see this code structure,
Mm-hmm.
now let us see that about.html. Let me close everything. So I hope that you are aware of this ULLI. I think we didn't cover so far, but any idea you have?
List and
Yeah.
yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
Okay, that is fine then. Okay, so copy here, about.html. Okay, if you see this, UL list item and 4 list items you have, 2 UL. So what stands for UL?
Um.
Unordered list.
Okay.
UL stands for unordered list. OL
And O.
stands for order list.
Okay. And OL stands for ordered.
Sorry, what one? Which one?
There was for ordered. Is it OL?
Yeah, so order for OL, unordered
Okay.
for UL. And
Mm.
for LI, what stands for LI is list item.
Mm.
So in this unordered list, how many list items we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. But
Mm-hmm.
in one of the first list item, we have in child of again another list, and in that another list we have a one child. Usually in real time, how this structure is really, maybe you may ask the question like, is there a possibility that in real time also we are going to use this kind of structure? Yes, 100%. This structure 100% will come in each and every website. Why? Because we are going to build menus, whatever the navigation that we have, drop downs, right? All with
Mm.
unordered list and list items only in real time.
Mm.
Okay, okay. Now the point is, if you see this, we have. Let me reload this. And if you see, everything is started towards this left side area, right? Why
Mm-hmm.
that is happened? Now inspect it and check that why that is happening. If you see this, for UL, when you are making that margin 0 and padding 0,
Yeah.
so that is showing by default is 0. So that is the reason it is started from here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add. Okay, why should I add? So we have container here, right? Let
Mm-hmm.
us write a CSS for it. Hash container, because we have ID right here,
Yeah. Right.
right? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now what I'm going to do is for ID, I'm going to apply some padding left 50 pixels. Let me save this.
Oh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I mean, have you observed one thing here in this CSS? Usually, if you want to write ID, simply you can write in a hash
Yeah, I was
container
gonna
only.
ask, why is there no
But they have
space?
no,
Mm.
no, no. See, I mean, so usually when see here also we have written hash
Mm-hmm.
container only. But if you look
Yeah.
at this code, there is a one prefix here,
Mm-hmm.
div. Okay. So what really makes if you add a div here? What is the importance of that? What if you're not add the div also still it is working, right? In our case.
Yeah. But if
Why they
it
specifically
identifies,
mentioned that div? Hmm?
because it identifies which ID to use. Huh.
Okay, so here they combined element and ID selector. In general, we are not actually going to combine. So we are going to write either element selector separately and ID selector separately, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to handle, if you want to, in light of div, you can write only div element selector. If you want ID, you can write like this. But when you write in a div and I mean element and ID selector, right? So what it really tells us, this hash container going to work with only div. If you apply like this, let us say, okay, you have write like
Mm-hmm.
this, right? Now let us see still, do we have that it is working or not, right? Now instead of this paragraph in about.html, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste. I'm going to change instead of div, I'm going to change this as a paragraph. Now copy and check this.
It doesn't work. Mm.
Hope you understand how it is working. What is the
Yeah.
prefix of the div before it?
Yeah. So this is a small question, but is it usual that IDs you don't separate it from the div, or like, I know we're not supposed to use, but like it's div hashtag container. There's no spacing. Does that affect anything?
Okay, yeah. So the point is whenever we combine both of them, element and ID selector or element class selector, that
Mm-hmm.
means this is going to be a ID that we know, right?
Yeah.
Without this div, okay? But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have container, if you don't have a div before it, right? Prefix. Now let me
Yeah.
reload this. Okay, we didn't write in the correct way. We write why it is showing only P here. Let's see. Yeah, both are same. And it comes to container, we have a same container only. There is no error. It should be part of between this P, right? This P is not even okay. I think I understand now because we have a same code, but both has same IDs, right? That is
Mm-hmm.
where I think it is giving some error. So as ID is unique thing, so that is the reason I believe it is not working. Okay, so the point is as long as you put div here in between, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now copy and save this, but still it is not working in a right way. Okay, let me instead of div, let me make p, and I'm going to comment this. Now let us see how it is going to work. No, PID is container and it is ending here. Why it is ending here? Why again extra P is added? It is something due to this JavaScript thing. No, how why it is behaving like this? Okay, so that's we can find later. Okay, but the point is here, when if we have the element here in between before id selector or before the class, that means we have to apply either id or class only to this element, not with any of the element. So it is not a generic way that we are writing id. Okay, let us take an example of class. Okay, instead of container, what I'm going to do here is div dot container. Now div, let me put div container
You
div.
mean class?
Sorry.
You mean class?
Yeah,
Oh.
class. Yeah, class only. Container. Okay, style we didn't save it. Okay. Okay. Now we have a container here, right? So instead of this div, if I make this p here, p dot container. Now let us see this. Is it working? No,
No.
right? Why? Because I have made a one package here. So the package is, I have a class as container and I have written element also. I defined the element also. That means this class going to work only for this element, only for paragraph. Wherever you want to apply this container, you should apply to only paragraph element, not with any of the element. Okay. Instead of that, if you remove this prefix, then this is going to be a global. You can apply container to any element. There is no specific thing that you have to implement. You have to apply only for paragraph element, only for div element, or only for h1 element, or something like that. There is no rule. Whenever whenever you define a class without an element, without a package, but when you add a prefix as an element like div, so now the scenario is the container. See, if you see this, okay, if you don't have any div here, now if we hover on this, it will show that element class is equal to container. Element can be anything, right? You can add a div paragraph h1 and all, but if you put some div before it, now it is purely div class is equal to container only. If you put instead of div, if you put p, it won't work. You're getting that or
Wait,
not?
what? I get why, like the class, like you can change the element, but why not P? I'm trying to think.
You can change the element. Why not p? Okay. Maybe let me you are not understanding this book. Let me no retell this. Okay. Now we have a div element where we applied the container class, right? This is going to be work for sure. For 110%, this is going to be work. But I'm not going to change anything in the CSS. Okay, because what I want to use a container class, but only to div element, not any of the other elements. Okay,
Yeah,
but what
I
I'm doing
understand.
here in the about in the about HTML, instead of div, I'm going to change p. Now it is not going to work for sure Why? Because container, as per the CSS, container class should work only for a div element. If you see here, because we added a div prefix,
Mm. That,
so
oh
it should
yeah,
work
that I
only for a div.
mm.
Now you understand?
Yeah, but if you can't change that to P?
Here, yeah, okay. So we have P here and we have a P
Yeah.
here now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I don't understand one thing here. The only problem with the P element only, and one more P also we have. I mean, I have seen
Yeah,
here.
okay. Yeah.
Maybe earlier that we changed it. We created a paragraph element, right, using with console.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is
Mm-hmm.
really impacting here. I'm
Yeah.
believing that. Yeah. Okay. We'll do one thing. Instead of D, we can take any other. Instead of paragraph, we can take any other element. Let us see. Okay, div we have seen, and we have, okay, we have some HTML 5 element, like header.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the CSS, what I'm going to do here is header only. Save both of them. Yes, it is working. See?
Yeah. Okay, that's what I wanted
Okay,
to know.
okay. Maybe the problem with the P, that is adding
Mm-hmm.
or something. But I removed everything. No, there is no extra
Mm-hmm.
P here as well. Yeah. Anyhow, I'll check that part, why it is coming. Maybe it is somewhere the P is stored in the here as well, or why exactly? Empty key cache, even cache also I have cleared, but let us see that why it is giving that error like this. P container body, P class body closed, eval started, li eval starting element, and everything is fine. But still check. Let us see. P dot container, the class also same, right? Container. I don't know why it is cannot working. Still it is not working. The eval is not okay. Now first let us see in Google, can we write eval element in paragraph element? You can put your UL inside of a div without any trouble. It's just that paragraph tags are a specific type of a block element and they only really want text inside of them. Because, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that
That's
I
why
was kind of thinking,
yeah, see, your browser compliance, right? Maybe it got updated, but earlier I used to work, but maybe at some point of time, maybe last 2 3 years, the updation happened.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe that is it is not actually taking. That is the reason, I guess.
Mm,
Yeah. This is the browser complaint problem.
mm.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Fine. Now anyhow, like the point you understand, right?
Yeah,
So
I get it
that
now.
is, yeah, yeah. So now div here we have, and I'm not going to use any prefix of the elements. For
Mm-hmm.
container, it is coming in this way. And now when I'm targeting this container dot ul, so what exactly it is going to do? Wherever the ul is there, so how many times ul is repeated in the container, we have a one immediate ul, and in the first list item also we have a one ul. So let us say I was planning to apply some border to it, border 1 pixels, solid, and red. Let me reload this. See, I got the border for entire UL, that is absolutely
Mm-hmm.
fine. But in one of the first list item also I have a UL. So it is going to be applied for this as well. So this is the problem with that, right? So when we have a space, So in the container, where the container element is there as a parent element,
Mm-hmm.
UL is how many times UL is going to repeat for all of them. It is going to be work in the same way.
So you just do
To
plus. Oh,
No, no, the plus is definite. I mean, okay. I mean, the plus is what going to happen with the plus, the sibling. After this container, if the UL is there, then that works. But we do
yeah,
not have any sibling for this container. Within this only we have, right? I mean, you don't confuse that,
yeah.
okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we have a children only here, but we want only this UL, not for this UL.
Mm.
So in such a case, we are going to use this for this sign. So now let's reload this. So whenever you add this greater than, it affects only the first UL. So this
Mm.
is the only first UL.
What's the difference between that and first child?
Yeah, I mean first child and this both will work in the same way, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
the point is, end of the day, we need to deep dive into selectors. Okay, how which
Mm.
selector is quick selector? That is the only difference.
Mm.
Okay, that is the only so if you observe class and ID, right? If you look, let us
Mm-hmm.
ask, in Google only, what is the speed CSS selector? Hmm, yeah, is CSS selector faster than ID? According to this article on Medium, which locator is faster to identify element is the order of serial for who ID name class. Hmm. Which selector is faster, ID or class? Since IDs are the first actions to be resolved, technically they are faster
Mm.
because they are unique, right?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
don't have to
So
do it
the
for
only
every single.
point is, yeah, yeah. So the only point, when you ask me this, what is the difference? The only thing we need to find out that, which is like a speed, a faster selector to select that.
Mm. Mm.
We have a very numbers here, but when you have a bunch of, list items and all, right? In such a case only we need to check that, like, how exactly it is really impacting.
Mm.
Okay, I think somewhere other around we may have that first child here, right? Let us see if any the structures of the class allows us to target only the first child of element. You will often this to remove borders. Okay, but how it is really going to work? Let us see. Instead of this, what I'm going to do is we will first child.
Mm.
Let's see this page. Yeah,
Doesn't work.
no, it is not actually working. It
Oh.
is taking the border for this as well.
Mm.
It's not exactly working.
Okay.
Okay, now I got that, maybe the first child scenario will work where we have a ULs, multiple ULs.
Mm.
Okay, maybe we can
Oh.
apply this for a
Yeah.
list items, I guess, where we
Yeah.
have a multiple. Yeah, that scenario. Yeah, I mean, see, the point is, whenever we work on this, we need to deep dive, for each one of them. But I told you, I think the first day when I started this, right, we are not actually going to use all of them.
Mm.
Out of this 30, probably max to max 15. This is also like
Mm.
very similar, like, writing the 10th child and all, because this is something going to happen with that, when the dynamic content is coming without any classes and all, and the code is completely, written in a different way, very difficult way. That scenario, we do not have any other option,
Mm.
right? So the only use
Yeah.
of this, additional thing is there are two uses. One is that the example which I gave you just now, when the content is coming like in a flow, okay, and we do not have any proper siblings or maybe proper classes to it, then that is the difficult scenario. And second thing is obviously for interview purpose.
Mm.
People may gonna ask you like, I have like, 10 list items in the one UL. I want to see first and last should be in a different way. I don't want to write any class and I don't want to write any inline styles. How you gonna handle this?
Mm.
Okay, yeah, these scenarios definitely will come into the picture in real time also, but not this much aggressive.
Okay.
Okay,
But
and
should I still
sorry.
practice all of them? Should I still practice all of
Uh,
them?
No, no, not all of them. Definitely not
Okay.
all of them. So I'll tell you, like,
Which
what
one?
are the things. Yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, hold on. So this is important, this important, this is important, this is important, this is important. Yeah, till first eight is very important. I mean, that
Mm.
those are the very common things that we used to use first eight,
Okay.
but we don't
Okay.
need all this. It's very, very rarest case, this title and all.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a very rare case. Yeah, and when the first eight you should focus, okay,
Mm.
and then ignore from 9 to 15, okay. And when it
Mm.
comes to the second, one, two, three, four, first four, and one, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, only six. This only of type, first of type, only child. We are in very rare case. Again,
Okay.
okay. First eight, focus on it. Then next. Okay, what exactly this pseudo? First line, first letter. Okay, I mean very rare cases this definitely.
Mm.
Okay, I mean, you can check that, but no, in real time we are not going to use that much for sure.
Okay.
Okay, first eight, then 16 to 20. No, no, not even. It's not also not required that much. 16 to
Oh.
19, then yes,
Well,
22 to
okay.
7.
Mm.
See, count just how many of them? 8 plus
Wait.
6, 14 plus 4, 18 only.
Mm.
Yeah, 18 only. So even though
Okay.
in 18 also, even though in 18 also, this nth of type, nth last of type also not at all required. Actually, ignore it. 24, 25 also ignore it. So
Mm.
16 only. In the
Okay.
16, first 8 is definitely it's a very usual, no, regular, selectors that we are going to use. Very common thing. If you look
Mm.
at any other website in the internet, any of the website, these were the very common things. First eight for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and this absolutely these four also. This is for however we already verified. This before and after is a pseudo one that we will check. This checker is mainly for checkbox. You have a right checkbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
this
think
checkbox.
I've
This
used it while practicing.
sorry.
I've used it once while practicing.
I see. Okay. So this checker is for checkbox, and this visited and X link is for anchor tag. So this is for anchor tag, and hover also is for anchor tag. 16 and 19 mainly for anchor tags.
Mm. And
Yeah.
is
And,
hover the
and
same as like
what?
we used hover before and did we use it the
This
same
one?
way? Yeah.
Ye- Yeah, same way. It is okay. So the point is, generally we are going to use for anchor tags, but that is not at all a rule. For any of them, we can use that. Okay, let us say for example, uh, I have this
Cause
image,
I
right?
yeah, cause I remember there being more than just hover. There was like
Yeah, so let us say for example, I have this image, right? Now
mm-hmm.
I can write something when it is in the hover stage. When it is in the hover stage, I can add some border to it. Okay, let us
Mm.
try that one. 91, line number 91. Salman image we have, and hover. Mm, filter is working. I'm not sure. Blur, let us try. I mean, these are all the actually new properties, but the problem with them is they're not going to support all the browsers.
Mm.
Yeah, here it is not working. This is not supporting.
Mm.
Yeah, but we have a blur here, but it is not really supporting. Okay, what else we can do? Yeah, brightness is supporting, contrast is drop shadow, grayscale. Yeah, let us try that grayscale. See, when I'm hovering on this, it is
Mm.
becoming that in the black and white photo, right?
Yeah.
When I hover on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's yeah. So I mean, the point is, hover is not for only links. Still, these buttons and also for this image also we can apply that.
Mm.
Okay, so these are all like whatever the property that filter and all is like these are not going to support all the browsers. So max to max we are going to avoid, but maybe latest browsers only we can use, and that too all the values are not going to work. That we you see when you just hover on this, the advantage of the Visual Studio Code is right. Whenever you hover on this, it will tell you like in which browser it is going to support. Edge 12 it is going to support, Firefox 35, Safari 9, Chrome 53 version, Opera 40 version. Only this browsers only it is going to support. What about that blur? 35 support
Mm.
same
Same.
only, but do we need to mention, I mean, a value on it? Let us see. But no
Maybe it's
use.
percentage. Maybe it's
Hmm.
percentage. Maybe
Maybe
the
it is
is
a
the one of
percent.
yeah.
Okay, let us try in a percentage way. Let us try. Okay, I mean here itself it is okay. Now when we add something and in these brackets, the entire thing is going to change, right? It is not actually working.
Yeah.
No effect. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So the hour is same only. So how many we got? I think approximately 416 we got. Dustin, I hope you are making a note of them. 1
Yeah,
to
I
8
am.
and 16, 17, 18, 19 and
Mm-hmm.
22,
23
23,
and then
26,
27.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, only this much.
Mm.
So your task is to focus one by one. These are the very important thing. Okay. Once you get a confidence, and when once you get a time, maybe later point of time, maybe after this entire sessions, or maybe after some time, you can look into that other things, how other is really working. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Do
How
not
should I
give that
practice?
much priority. No, for each of them, they will give some code as well, right? Code reference also.
Yeah.
Right. So the same way,
Yeah.
like I told you, right? So I have added a one paragraph element. So how we gonna select that and apply some classes on it, make based on the relation, whether parent relation or siblings or immediate element, adjacent selector,
Mm.
combination selector. That we were trying everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the same way only.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I
So
went to
if
yeah.
we focus on this thing, no, so tomorrow what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to build this bottom navigation, then we'll focus on these
Mm.
because we this is the based on the LIs only. Okay.
Mm.
So that we can cover that LIs as well. Tomorrow session is for
Okay.
footer menu.
Okay.
Okay, and day after tomorrow we are going to focus on the pending things, or we can focus on forms, which is an important thing.
Okay.
Do you have any idea when our session started?
Um, December, like middle of December.
Middle of December. Let me see it.
I think let me
Yeah,
go
I
to
think
the
11th December.
yeah.
Hmm, 11th December. Okay. Hmm, I think this week we didn't cover much as I think I remember that I suffered with throat infection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we covered only one, two, three, four sessions only. This is the introduction session, and 12, 13, 14 only we covered. Then
Mhm.
after we have, this is the valid thing from 18 to 22, and this is the holidays again from 23, 24, 25. And
Mhm.
I missed two sessions here. I think approximately we covered valid, and I'm saying that accurate subject sessions 12, 13, 14.
Mhm.
Then after 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Then only one session or two sessions happened in this last week. You remember that?
Two.
How many sessions? Two?
I think Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday? Okay. Thursday
I
and
think.
Friday. Fine. Okay. So 2 plus 5, 7 plus 3, 10, and plus 3. 13 days approximately. 12 or
Mm.
13 max.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the time for you, to check yourself. Okay,
Mhm.
like how much that the improvement, and what is the new things that and what is the your confidence level whenever you see website, the view
Mm.
prospective view, how it was different before these 13 sessions and after these 13 sessions. Okay, these are all you can check from your own way.
Yeah. Do you think the pacing is okay? Like, are we like, is this
Uh,
fast enough?
sorry, come again.
Is the pacing of the classes normal? Like, is it? Should I practice a lot
um,
more? Like, do I
I
need to
mean,
catch up?
definitely that, yeah, yeah. From your side, I mean, the practice is always required, right? So, I mean, if you
Yeah.
see, I mean, when as long as it is an online class, right? We are actually probably, 30 or maximum 35 hours, or maybe sometimes 40 hours, right?
Mm.
Not definitely we cannot put more than that, effort. But I'm
Yeah.
not actually going to put some calculations. That is not a kind of person me. Like, okay, I want to complete within the 13 hours only, sorry, 30 hours only. After that, I can skip all the topics, but I'm fine with it because I love to teach that subject, and I love to explain the things whatever is really working around the real time applications. But the point is
Mhm.
the same kind of efforts that I'm going to expect from other side. I hope you
Mm.
understand other side in the sense
Yeah.
from the persons who is really learning.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
just this
if it is a
holidays.
if it is a yeah, if it is a offline class, no, you won't believe that my way of style is completely different than online, because I won't not I was not actually allowing any of the student once they once if they are not actually done with the task what I have assigned previous days. I see. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So I mean, majority of the people whoever is now my students, right? They clearly know it about it. If
Mm.
they are not done with the task straight away, I'm not, I don't have any second thought. I'm not going to allow them into my session. So they will,
Mm.
usually they used to talk with that, that institute's management and all, Sai sir is doing like this. They also going to support me because they know that, I'm going to put all the efforts. I'm not a
Mm.
person to, do the calculations like, 20 hours, 30 hours, or this is the only curriculum that I have.
Mm.
Okay, let's after darsana, maybe some XYZ person will come. 110% I am telling that I'm not going to cover the same way how I have explained,
Mm.
because the curriculum is not actually fixed. No, if you put some like lines or boundaries to your curriculum, right? For all of the
Yeah.
students, this is the only process. The only point is the first thing is I myself not growing that much, right? See, my
Yeah.
self growth will be definitely going to be stopped.
Mhm.
I'm going to cover all the points for all of them, but explaining in way of explaining, or maybe picking the points going to be different for sure for all of them. Sometimes based
Mm.
on their attention, or their stability, or their understanding level. Sometimes these points are, I mean, all these are depending on their situations only, right?
Mm.
So I mean, even whatever that, I mean, I have noticed something like, whatever you are listening, but
Mm.
that actual amount of efforts you are not putting in the practice for practicing.
Yeah. I just get
Yeah,
sort
so
of.
whenever I'm explaining, you are feeling that okay, this is fine. I understand that. Oh, this is this much. Okay,
Mm.
this is under. I understand that. This is very easy. Now I understand.
Mm.
So, I mean, you are in that assumption, but you are not actually practicing. But the problem is, whenever we complete the sessions and all, right? If I ask you certain
Mm.
questions like what we discussed two before, I mean, before 2 days session, you will be like a blank out because you didn't
Yeah.
practice that. Yeah. So you are in the only assumption that you're getting knowledge, but reality is not.
Mm.
Yeah.
When practicing, should I like go for a different website and try to build it, or just from scratch?
Uh, Yes, I mean that is the reason that I picked up this layout, right? And I think you are the first person, okay? I mean, out of all my experience, I only asked
Uh-huh.
them to, okay, you can come up with any of the website and let us build that website.
Mm.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So at least if you practice in this way, what my intention is, if you practice in this way, so you won't feel stressed. Like you
Yeah.
don't need to do brainstorm that hey, how we gonna build all of them this image on this text and all, right? But at
Mm-hmm.
least if you see the structure of the layout, you feel okay. I mean, we are at least you have some idea now, right? So we have a div elements, we are float left to right and display flex and font elements, selectors. You understand all this subject, right? At least.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you want to really practice, pick any of the web page, whatever the web page. Just try to start it. At least start it today itself.
Mm.
And believe me, definitely in one point of time you feel stuck for sure. 110% I'm telling that.
Mm.
Once you start it itself, if, for example, let us say if you start today, after 30 minutes of time, definitely you will feel like in a blank. Array, what I'm learning, how I'm
Yeah.
doing all this. These elements are,
Mm-hmm.
I'm making some, paddings and all, but these are coming not right side, these are coming left side, or these are coming, next line.
Mm.
Why this order now button is coming, in this area, or maybe in this area? Why it is not actually coming in this way? All kind of situations will come for sure. But we
Yeah.
do not have any other option. We do not have any other option. Only option we have is to at least practice day-to-day session practice.
Okay. Mm.
Okay. And I'm telling
Yeah.
no, I'm
Since.
here for you to help and all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've been
Yeah. And
traveling
I mean
to.
I'm giving it.